all I can say is wow. After yesterday's episode, like, y'all are the shit, man. This community is the shit. Everyone picked me up, everyone had my back. Like, just first and foremost, dude, like, everyone, thank you for the support. Like, damn, that means a lot, dude. And this is why I do it, man. So we can have this community and we can learn from each other and better each other. You know what I mean? So, like, damn, thank you all so much. I'm blessed to have y'all, and you can make a black man blush. And that's not a racist thing. Don't make it a racist thing. It's not. That's an observation. I've never seen a black man blush. So I'm just like saying you're being very nice, like so nice that you could make a black dude blush. I've seen white people blush. Hell, I've seen like every white person I met blush. To the point where they turn like a pig color, like red, pinkish. Like they just went pee in their pants at like a huge event in gray sweatpants. But look, did this just become a race thing? My bad. Thank you. And secondly, actually, you know what? If you're a black man and you listen to this podcast, hit me up at thecuriositychamber@gmail.com and let me know if you can blush. If you're a white person and you listen to this podcast, don't hit me up because I know you can blush. So there. Okay, it's out there. We did it. We're fine. We crossed our T's, dotted our I's. All right, moving forward. Secondly, I just want to let you know something about eBay. Like, you'll spend less on eBay, but you ain't getting something authentic, okay? You can go buy a Tom Ford shirt on eBay, but when you go to open up that package, it's going to say Tom Ford with a B at the end, a lowercase b. It's just a backwards D, but it's a lowercase b. And you should expect that. If you're paying half the cost for designer wear, understand what you're doing. Just know what you're going to get. If you buy gloves, designer gloves on eBay, you're going to get, like, the right hand will probably fit, but the left hand is probably made for a hook or a three-fingered person, like a custom-made glove. It ain't going to fit right. Same goes with shoes. You buy shoes, left one will fit, the right one will be for a mechanical foot. And that's just how it goes. So I guess just buyer beware. I felt like I had to get that off my chest. Good. Okay. So we got everything. We're good. Got the first part down, second part down. Let's move forward. Tonight's episode is going to be men's mental health centric. So if you're a woman, I love you too, and I hope you stick around, but I only know, what I experience, and that's being a guy and, having this brain and dealing with some of the things that guys might deal with that women would not understand. So it's nothing against you. It's just that's what's going to be centric. Maybe we'll have we'll bring a woman on here and we'll get some mental health going on for the women as well. But we're gonna close the show off by a listener who shared a story with us and his upbringing, and he had some nice comments about the yesterday's episode and some of the posts that we did. So, okay, let's get into it, shall we? The first thing I'm going to do is I did some research, and I'm bringing up a link right now, a critical look at men's mental health, because the outpour of communication yesterday after the episode, like, damn, dude, like, men are hurting right now for sure. Like, after you heard me talk in a raw, uncut way, like, a lot of you can compare your life to mine, I suppose. And I mean, that's amazing to hear, but we have a real problem going on. So let's look at some fast facts about men's mental health. And this is kind of astonishing, really. Nearly 1 in 10 men experience some form of depression or anxiety, but less than half seek treatment. Feeling depressed or anxious is not unusual or shameful. And that's a huge part, man. Like, if you're depressed and you're anxious, like, who do you talk to? Like, growing up as a dude, you're not supposed to talk about that shit at all. That is so deep into our culture fiber. Like, men's culture, you're not supposed to show emotion. You have to be a solid rock, dude. Like, you have to be that rock. You're not supposed to cry. You're supposed to be like, everything's okay. Even if you're on a fucking airplane and it's going down, like, you're supposed to just, it's fine. It's fine. We're probably gonna die, but it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I got this. I'll save you. That's how it's supposed to be. And it's unfortunate, man. Just because it's so hectic, dude. Like, when you bottle shit up, what do you do with that? Where does that go? It has to go somewhere. And a lot of times it probably leads to suicide. And I think that's what this next passage says. In 2020, men died by suicide. Yup. 3.88 times more than women. Though men experience a higher rate of suicide, they are less likely to seek help and more prone to suffering in silence. Depression, when left untreated, can in some cases reach a crisis point of suicidal contemplation. Be sure to reach out for support if you are struggling. Yeah, I mean, shit, man. In the words right there, dude. Like, what's hard to read about that is suffering in silence. How many of you suffer in silence? Yeah, that's a big one, man. Like, we won't be vocal about it. And no one will fucking know either until there's that climax point where everything just comes to a head and it seems better to be dead than to go on, than to move another day. I've been in dark places, man. Like, luckily for me, I've never been one that had suicide on my plate. That was never an option. But I empathize. I've been in the darkest places of my mind. When I was going through addiction and I was coming off, as you know, I was on the opioids, but also, like, what was even harder than that was Xanax. Like, dude, when you run out of Xanax or any kind of benzos, your brain just starts fucking going crosswire, dude. Like, you can't get a grasp on anything. And you go to the deepest, darkest corners of your mind. And everything becomes like a potential killer, I suppose. What happened to me? Like, everything I looked around was out to kill me or was gonna, like, end me. Just everything was so negative in my mind. Everything, every waking moment, nothing was good enough. Nothing was going to amount to shit, so what's the point? And it just got really, really dark. And I know, like, this article is saying it right here, man, in pure print. It's crazy, dude. There's not a big emphasis on men's mental health. I think it might be starting to get a little bit better, but 3.88 times more than a woman to kill themselves. That sucks, man. That sucks. They just, like, men feel, they don't feel valued. I think, I'm not sure if this is true, but someone had quoted this, and it's like, the only people that are unconditionally loved is a woman and a child. And when it comes to a man, like, people they're not quick to give you a shoulder to lean on, I guess. I don't know why that is, man. It's so sad. I don't know why that is. Like, we have feelings too. You know? We have some deep feelings too. We're just supposed to suppress it? Or what? Like, who came up with that? Why? Why is that a thing? Why are we just supposed to suppress it? I don't know. I would be... Dude, when it comes to your mental health, I would say, fuck everyone. Fuck everyone. If people are going to talk shit to you because you're crying, because you're showing emotion, or you talk about your feelings, or you write poetry, or whatever you do to make you feel better, to cope with it, fucking do it, man. Fucking do it. Why do we care so much about what people think about us? If that means staying alive, fuck them. Why do we care so much? Why do we give them so much, like, hierarchy over us? I don't know. Maybe it's an ego thing. Let your ego die, man. Keep a little ego. But let the rest of that toxic shit die. And just do what's best for you. Who gives a fuck what people think of you, man? About 6 out of every 10 men experience at least one trauma in their lives. PTSD can develop weeks, months, or even years after an experienced trauma and can cause a person to relive the traumatic event, experience nightmares or flashbacks, and a number of other troubling symptoms that interfere with their everyday life. And again, dude, that's just like, keep it bottled up. About 6 out of every 10 men. How many people do you work with? 6 out of every 10 that you see are dealing with this shit. And you would never know. And you would never know until it's too late. And then what does it come back to? Oh man, I wish they would have said something to me. I could have helped them. I wish they would have came to me, man. I would have stopped that from happening. And we have to nip it in the bud before it even gets to that fucking point. We have to get to the point where we feel comfortable talking to each other, because right now we don't. You feel more comfortable killing yourself before talking to somebody. That is insane. You are ending your life because you feel hopeless. Man, that's crazy. Like these statistics are just insane to me. Moving on. Men are almost 2 times more likely to binge drink than women, and are 3 times as likely to die as a consequence of alcohol abuse. It's important to drink responsibly and avoid driving or operating heavy machinery while intoxicated. Thank you very much. We know that. Okay, so it seems like, and it's like piecing the puzzle together, that since we can't talk about it, since we have a pretty stressful life, there's no outlet, so we literally drink ourselves to death. Men are almost 2 times more likely to binge drink than women, and 3 times as likely to die as a consequence of alcohol abuse. God damn, man. And it's all coming back to just, we have to try and stop it before it gets to this point. I'm going to invite somebody on that's a professional, because I don't want to lead anyone down the wrong roads and say things that might be like contradictory of what you're supposed to do. So we'll invite someone on and have a nice little interview with them about men's mental health. I'm just here to lay out some of these statistics, give a couple of personal examples, and just keep on keeping on, man. 49% of men feel more depressed than they admit. 49%! That is half. Oh, Jesus, dude. Oh, let me read that first one, too, because I think this might... Yeah, 1 in 10 men experience some form of depression or anxiety. Okay. And now we're reading 49% of men feel more depressed than they admit to the people in their life. A survey of more than 1,000 men commissioned by the Today Show revealed the truth that many assumed men are much less likely to voice struggles with mental illness and even thoughts of suicide. God, if that doesn't make you sad. And that was 2020 that resource was from. Shocking, right? Did they teach you this in school? How to cope with mental illness or like be confident? You know, like how to deal with mental discrepancies? How to achieve mental health? Do they teach you that in school? They didn't at mine. That seems like a giant thing that you would want to like almost base school around. Because you have to live in here. You live here. Every single waking second, you live upstairs. You live in your mind. And I don't know, man. If you were a conspiracy theorist, you'd be like, let's try to avoid that and, you know, get these people used to working in a factory. Let's have school just like a factory so they can go do some line work. If you were a conspiracy theorist, that's what it feels like, dude. I'm not sure. I haven't been in a school in a while, but back when I went in 2002 was high school for me. That place felt like a fucking prison. Like a prison. And, you know, instead of school showing you how to like deal with mental health and becoming a confident young man or woman, like, no. Nowadays, instead, what they're teaching you to do is how to tuck your wiener between your legs and go to a drag show. And, you know, I'm not against that, dude. You can do whatever you want. That's fine. But, dude, at least prioritize, man. Why is that more important than kids' mental health? Teaching kids how to cope with certain things, with depression. Holy shit, man. This isn't rocket science. Like, the numbers don't lie, dude. 1 in every 10 men are depressed. And people are killing themselves, and like schools aren't teaching how to cope with that. That just seems wrong. That seems wrong. I don't know, man. We're all human beings here on the same side, so it's like we all have differences, sure. But we gotta figure out a way to put it to the side. And being trapped in your own mind with no outlet is only going to lead to harmful things, dude. Like finding the answer at the bottle of prescription pills, of opioids, like I did, or drinking yourself to death, literally, or suicide. So I'm sure there's groups, I'm sure there's people, like, but that's the hard thing, dude. Guys don't want to fucking talk. We don't want to talk. We don't want to go to a group. That is not a man thing to do. Like, go to a group and open up. Sure, I'm sure it helps so much, but there's got to be a better way. I'll tell you what helps for me. What helps for me is doing this podcast. That helps significantly. But also, before this podcast, what I was doing is I play sports. I play hockey, baseball. I work out like religiously. I'm not trying to be the biggest guy in the gym. That is not why I work out at all. That is not why. I work out strictly for my mental health. Because after I do a fucking hard-ass workout, like push a sled or run 3 miles and do a workout with weights, I am so exhausted by the end of that I don't have time to be depressed. Like, I feel so fucking good. Your endorphins shoot off and you just did work, man. You just did, like, physical work. And I think that's what's missing. I think that's what's missing from this society nowadays, is being physical, dude. Everything is just so convenient and right in front of us. And you don't have to work for your food. You could just go to the grocery store. Sure, that's fucking fine. That's awesome. But you literally don't have to work for anything. You can call on your phone. You can not even call. You can use an app to get food delivered now. Your groceries delivered now. You don't even have to go out in public. You can literally just sit your ass on the couch all day and not move and live and be fine. Not mentally fine, but like you can get through, like physically. I mean, Jesus, man. I think like the USA, I read a statistic, I think it was like 60% is obese. And I think obesity has something to do directly. There's a direct correlation with your mental health, man. And I don't see it like all over the place. Like that should be hyper aware. Just like dieting. Just like if you diet and take vitamin D and take some supplements and move your body around, you'll feel better. You will, I guarantee it. You will feel better, but it's like finding the motivation to get off the couch and do something. God, it's so sad to read that. How many men are going through that? Yeah, we'll definitely invite somebody on and have a talk and see what they recommend. Because that's the only thing I can recommend, because that's what I've been doing with my life. And it's been 5 years since I've used opioids and that whole ordeal. I guess there was still some like built up emotion because I've never spoken to it before about what happened with me and my ex-wife and my kid. And talking about it made me feel good. I feel good today. But let's get into one of our listeners that sent me this nice ass note yesterday after hearing yesterday's podcast. This is Taryn Nichols, and he hit me up via Instagram, and he said, "It's hard for us, man. It's so hard. It's like we are alone, at least. That's how I feel. It blows." And he had sponsors in snowboarding and fishing. And now he can't even see his two boys, and they're from different mamas. But he said my post gave him strength, and he said, "Thank you. It's hard, brother. Much love." And there was a few others that came in too. So I know you guys are feeling it. I know you are. And like, dude, like we have to stick together, man. We gotta communicate and stick together. Like, people love you. I said it yesterday. I mean it. And dude, Taryn, thanks so much, man, for reaching out. Like, stuff like that. And we had a conversation, dude. We were going back and forth for a little bit. But just like that human connection, dude, it feels so good. It feels so real. Like, you need that. You need human contact. Like, what do you think they do in prison when you do something wrong? They isolate you. They put you in isolation. Keep you away from people. And now that people are working from home, like, you don't see people. You don't see people. People are going to get depressed as fuck, and they already are. So feel free to reach out, man. Reach out, Instagram. Hit me up on email, thecuriositychamber@gmail.com. Hit up the hotline, 847-219-2714. Just shoot the shit, man. Let us know how you feel. We'll play you on here, and we'll just talk, bro. We'll just talk. It's like the least I can do. Yeah, man, and Taryn also gave us a story about his life, dude. He said that when he was 6, he lived in a children's hospital in Denver for 6 months, had to learn to walk, talk, and eat all over again. God and the amazing staff saved him. A Beanie Baby paid off for his $1.2 million medical bill. That's insane, dude. That's insane. When he was 6, he finally got out. Last appointment, he skated down the hallway out of the hospital with a poop bag, a nose tube, and 60 stitches. If it's had to be heard, is to give people hope. Life is unfair. but the love for life is unstoppable. Man. Dude, that, like, he started life off with that. Like, that's how he started life. Like, that happened at 5. Imagine the baggage he's carried. Like, just mentally. That's a mentally strong dude, because he looks a little bit older now. I didn't get his exact age, but looks like my age. Maybe 20s, maybe 30s. But he's still around, man. He's fighting a battle, and he told us that he's got kids from different baby mamas, and he can't even see them. Man, like, it's hard. It's hard being a dude sometimes. It's really hard being a guy, and I think it goes unrecognized. I think it just passes over. I think it's just like people think we're supposed to be so strong and nothing bothers us, but we're only human, man. That's kind of a ridiculous statement to make. We're only human. Taryn, dude, thanks again, man, for reaching out. That means a lot. That means a lot. And to everyone else at home, I appreciate you. Thanks for listening as usual. You guys are the shit. Again, I wanted to mention that I want to do something nice at the end of every month. I want to pay it forward. And if you want to nominate somebody, again, it could be anybody. Just someone that you think is doing a really good job and deserves like a day to themselves paid for. Just write me like a couple sentences why you want to nominate this person, and we'll do a drawing, and if they win, we'll give them a call, and we'll appreciate them on your behalf and give them something nice, like paid for. Don't worry about it. You know, they deserve that. So, thecuriositychamber@gmail.com, or you can give us a call, 847-219-2714. I love you all. Thank you. Stay healthy. Stay mentally sharp. Come on, boys. We can do this. Peace.